Well, let's start with your own personal preparations. You're obviously one of our all-time great swimmers, but the pressure doesn't let up. How are your preparations going?
Actually, I'm not competing this time. This will be the first time since 1992 that I'm not competing, but I'm more in a mentorship role. I've been advising and I've been managing probably our top medal hope. His name is Cameron van der Berg. And so his preparations are going really well, and he's on top of the world now, and hopefully the next 50 days will be smooth sailing all the way to London.
What about our swimming prospects generally? It's not one of the most fashionable sports in the sense that rugby and cricket, the big team sports, get big sponsorships and coverage. And it does get its day at the Olympics. People do watch swimming at the Olympics. So everything, more than in most other sports which have cycles, everything is geared to that every 4 years you've got to get it right.
Absolutely. Every swimmer lives for the first week of the Olympics every 4 years, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into that first week. It's 4 years of hard work and dedication, and sometimes, for instance, in the 50 freestyle, they've got 22 seconds to go do their thing. So there's a lot of pressure. It's a 4-year cycle, but I believe that SASCOC has really supported the top athletes. At least over the last 3 years. It's a very expensive operation. For if you see somebody on the podium at the Olympics, there's probably at least a minimum of 4 or 5 people that have dedicated their lives for 4 years for that moment, if not more. So it's really a team effort, even though it might be an individual sport.
Top of your game, gold medalist. If you looked at the equivalent in a sport like golf, you'd be a multi-millionaire. That doesn't happen as easily in swimming. Sometimes one gets the impression that the Olympic people and some of the sports, you have to put out the begging bowl, even if you are world class.
Yeah. These are people that train like professionals but live as amateurs, and they really do it for the love of the sport. Although the love of the sport and the passion can only take you so far, and with the competition getting so tight over the last couple of years, with more small countries coming through, it's becoming very hard. And in countries like South Africa, where we've got so many other social issues, there's a fine line between building new swimming pools and building schools and houses. So it's really becoming hard for the smaller countries to compete with the big countries.
What about the state of swimming in South Africa? As you say, you've got to build pools. I mean, it's not a cheap sport to run. The basic equipment that you need, a lot of water in the right measures and so on. How would you rate the state of swimming in South Africa? And I'm thinking of school level, where my perception is that swimming is not as strong as it was. And as is the case with many sports at school, fewer schools are doing it. Perhaps some of them at a very high level, but it's not growing, is it?
It's growing slowly, but I think we've got a bit of a false sense of security with the amount of talent that we have, and it might be a lot like rugby, where you've just got like an abundance of great athletes, and that's what we've had in swimming, and that gives a false sense of security that we are doing things right, but I think we can do much better, and we can start with building new pools. The pools that most of the swimmers train in are either virgin active pools, which are not ideal, or pools that were built in the 1960s and 1970s, and they all need a refab. So swimming is a life skill. I think we can make a lot of points for that, But like I said, we've got a lot of other social problems that we have to address first.
That was Ryk Neethling, South African Olympic swimmer.